Welcome back to another rendition of Floral Foolishness.
Sports.
Wow, he was quick that time. And
What I
yeah, baby. You know what that means. It's island time on Floral Foolishness, the worldwide leader of dumbass sports news.
WNBA, actually women's basketball in general, not even just the WNBA. We talk college hoops sometimes too.
But that we do. And we're going to continue that trend today. That's a preview, dear listener.
We're going to talk about the Golden State Lady Bobs and Doug Nuts, the Lady Nuts.
The Lady Doug Nuts. Let's go. Let's go.
Lady Nut.
Yeah. But that's what you should aim for, gentlemen. On this show, if you've never joined
Joseph
us,
Newgarden, nobody fucking asked you about your Lady Nuts.
God damn it. God damn it. On this show, we talk about stupid shit in and out of the world of sports, no matter how unbelievable or ridiculous they may be, all while rocking some very awesome island wear, which I'm going to say all of this island wear is new to this show for me. It's all socks oriented, minus my island AC head or neck fan. Yeah, I got one of those. They are fucking legit.
Oh, yes.
Get it, baby.
Love
you need
it.
to be comfy while you're getting in them rays.
It's summertime. You prepare for summer.
We went from 59 degrees up here to 93. It's fucking hot. Holy fuck.
A little steamy.
Yeah, a little.
We got a monsoon the past 2 weeks. If it hadn't been monsooning, it'd be like 110. Because of the monsoon, it's like 85.
Yeah, and when the clouds break, it is going to be feeling like 150.
Let's go.
Oof. Bad times, bad times. Anyway, so I'm Stoty. With me, as always, is the Dragon Wrangler, Jeremy Phelps. We're going to start with opening statements. What you got for the people?
So ESPN ran an article today that I'd like to discuss really quickly here. We didn't work it into the script because it's something we've talked about before, and I just don't think the stupidity of it needs to be scripted again. It's talking about DraftKings. It's talking about the NBA draft, which is upcoming not too long from now. And it's talking about people wasting their money because, according to DraftKings, 30%, 30% of people that have bet on the NBA draft have Bronny James projected to go number one with their bet. A young man who might not even get drafted in the second round. Second place at 14% is a young man named Alex Sarr, who's minus 300, which I tried to click on his link because I don't know who he is. And ESPN, when I click on his link, says invalid request. So apparently he's not a real person. So Bronny James, number one, not a real person, number two. And then they don't list the number three. Where I'm going with this is
Brian Windhorst.
If you've got expendable income to that extent that you can just throw money away, maybe spend it on something better. I don't know, put like a foundation together to like teach people how to re-rack their weights at the gym, or like, I don't know, like save some fucking sea turtles or something. Just don't waste it on Bronny, who you could give me minus 300, plus 300 odds that Bronny will go in the first round, and I still wouldn't take that. First overall, no fucking shot. I don't even know if he'll get drafted. You give me fucking push odds even on whether or not he'll get drafted, minus 110. I don't know how I'd bet. I don't know if he will. Maybe somebody takes him like 60th overall as like a Mr. Irrelevant. I don't know. But number one, why are you wasting your money? Spend it on something better.
Yeah, there's a lot of washing machines without a home. Yeah.
For $9.49, you can get a six-pack of Yingling 16 ounces at the QT down the road. So if you got $10 to spare, there's much better uses for it.
Yeah, $10 is $10. Don't fucking blow this. I mean, who has the overall first pick in the NBA draft this coming year? Do we know yet?
The Atlanta Hawks, because once again, time and time again, the Pistons got fucked over as they do year in and year out. 14 wins, they don't have it.
Okay, so let's even pretend that Bronny is a first overall pick caliber player.
Sure.
How is he going to mix with Trae Young?
Uh Not well, but the bigger issue is the reason, all right, the logic behind why people think he would go first overall is because LeBron's going to be a free agent and they think that he will then sign in free agency with wherever Bronny goes. So the thought process is if you draft Bronny number one, you get LeBron for 2 years at 39 years old. And don't get me wrong, he's still a hell of a player at 39. He's a physical specimen. But a 39-year-old LeBron's not a 23-year-old LeBron. So the real question is, how would Bronny and LeBron mix with Trae Young? And I think the answer is about as well as he mixed with Kyrie, which is why Kyrie's in Dallas now.
He made Kyrie believe in all of the flat Earth.
Yeah,
All of it.
Kyrie's got some interesting theories for sure.
Yeah.
Kyrie is the Kanye West of the NBA. If there's ever been a professional athlete closer associated to Kanye West, maybe Antonio Brown, but I don't even know then. I think Kyrie and Kanye.
And we're talking CTE bound Antonio Brown here. Like
Oh, yeah.
before that, he was he said some stupid shit, but it wasn't to the level that, well, let's throw our pads off in New York.
Speaking of Antonio Brown, this is going way off the rails. I saw something the other day that said Antonio Brown officially retired because I guess he hadn't already. But the interesting part about this is the team he officially retired with is a team that has his rights. He officially retired as an Oakland Raider, a team he never played a game for.
Yes.
Or Las Vegas Raider, but still, yeah, he retired a Raider. So I guess Jimmy G was his really good looking quarterback when it didn't work out with Tom Brady being super good looking. Good thing Jimmy's not monogamous, or he could have had a real Giselle situation on his hands with Antonio.
Yeah, Al Davis is rolling in his grave over that one.
Meanwhile, Mark Davis is trying to find a better bowl to give himself a haircut with.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
If you cut your hair with that hat on right now, you would have a Mark Davis cut.
Oh, 100%. I mean, he has to drive the Dumb and Dumber 2 car. He has to. There's no fucking way. He shows up and he's like, "Hi, I'm a legitimate businessman." It's like, yeah, your clown makeup's in the back, Mark. Get the fuck out of here.
You use the side door. We don't need your kind coming in the front. He walks in, they're like, "Here's your helmet, sir."
It's custom ordered. We knew you were coming.
Sorry, based off your haircut, I just assumed you needed it.
Oh, son of a bitch. Yeah. All right. So thanks for that. People love you for all of those provocative thoughts.
What I do?
Yeah. So the opening statement for me this week, as always, fuck Cybertruck.
Fuck Cybertruck.
Like,
what if they come out with a Cyber Subaru someday?
Well, domestic terrorism. I don't know. Like, how do you respond to that with such hatred that I have espoused across multiple shows? For these different car brands.
Yeah.
Ugh. What do you do there? Nothing good, I'll tell you that.
Agreed.
Yeah. So that's number one. Number two, and I'm not going to say much more importantly because this week has been real low key, chill, and awesome for me. People that just like try and hang out near folks of power or perceived power. What the fuck is their problem? And I'll give you an example.
Need asses to kiss.
Yeah. So I call soccer hoops games for a local soccer hoops USL2 team.
Oh, yeah, you footy that ball. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. We footy real hard.
Actually, that's actually accurate. You do footy pretty hard this year. Yeah,
so far we're 2-0. Our goal differential is what is it? It's 10-4, 1-, so we're +9 overall through 2. So pretty good so far.
Not terrible.
No. And it's a small setup. And so, I'm setting up basically amongst the fans and this fucking fold out table, and that I guess espouses authority. Weird. But like, there's just these dudes, and I've just noticed it this year, who just hang out and they're like trying to talk the whole time. And it's like, okay, cool. I don't know you. Stranger danger. What the fuck is going on?
I hate when strangers talk to me.
Yeah, it's really fucking weird, man.
Mostly because it's always dudes. And if like attractive women strangers talk to me, I think I'd be all about it. But it's always dudes every single time, without fail, every single time.
Yeah. I don't know. Last year I didn't notice it anywhere as near as much as this year, but it's just like I have these randos come up because I got this seat next to me. Well, the first game I did, and then I put my backpack in it, and nobody sat in it. But this guy comes up, he's like, "Hey, bud, how you doing? I came up here from Connecticut. We were playing a team from Connecticut, so
Yeah.
backstory there." And I was like, "All right,
He's a loyal USL fan.
yeah, really? Like you drove 4 hours for a dog shit USL 2 game? All right, um, you can spend your time elsewhere, buddy. There's a lot of stands. In fact, you could go upstairs where I want to be, far away from you. The whole fucking time, man. It's just fucking insane. Like, what the fuck is up with that?
Some people just don't get how society works. It's like, I don't know. Like the other day, a friend of ours who gets belligerently drunk in the city of Charlotte, we go to a bar together.
Son of a bitch.
He has a beer in his hand. So do I. He walks across the street. The bouncer catches me, which the bouncer was like an undercover bouncer. He wasn't wearing anything that had the name of this bar on it. He was just like sitting in a corner talking to a couple people. And like as I'm getting ready to leave, he's like, "Whoa, bro, you can't take alcohol off the premises." I'm like, "Oh shit, I guess this guy works here." All right. But he didn't look like a bouncer. Like, you know how bouncers like usually like roided out and like just massive human beings that can't spell?
Right.
Yeah, this guy was probably like 5'10", like 165 pounds. So I guess is what they teach you like day one in like police school is you got to establish yourself as the alpha. But anyway, so same friend of ours comes back from across the street with the alcohol that he left this bar with in his hand.
Son of a bitch.
Bouncer sees this and he's like, "Whoa, bro, you can't bring outside alcohol in." And the friend of ours is like, he's hammered. He's like, what are you talking about?" Without fail, this dude slaps the fucking can of beer out of his hands, just like fucking Gronk spikes it into the ground. And so our friend is like, "Dude, do you even fucking work here? Like, what are you doing?" The guy's like, "Yeah, I fucking work here. I'm a fucking security man." And he's like, "Really? Because you're just sitting over there with these people. Like, you might just be some random dude here." And so, long story short, I jump in because I'm the more sober. I'm like, I got him. I'll take him over here. But to the point about just not knowing how things work, if you're 5'10" and 165-ish pounds, you shouldn't be a bouncer because then you get overly aggressive for no reason. You know who's never slapped the beer out of the hand of somebody at a bar? A fucking 6'3", 290-pound former NFL lineman who's in security now because they don't fucking have to. You don't need to establish dominance. Know how the world works, man. Like, know that if somebody's sitting down, you don't need to sit next to them. Go sit fucking 10 rows over when there's 1,000 open seats.
Okay, I'm going to push back on this one. If you got the Napoleon syndrome and you're like, I'm going to be a fucking bouncer, that's your fucking go-to move of fuck with me.
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree with that. The issue is the day somebody actually does fuck with you, you're getting dropped.
Yeah, that's true too, unfortunately. Okay. So that was point 2. Point 1 for the counterpoint here is the show Undercover Boss, I assume.
Yeah.
All right. Who is going to be undercover fucking bouncer? All right, like fucking series premiere of Undercover Bouncer. Who is it?
Robbie Sluga.
You want to give that backstory?
Robbie Sluga is a friend of ours. He has 2 kids and a wife, and he's just a lovely young man who doesn't want to fight
No,
anybody.
the real backstory to it. Come on.
No, I don't.
Oh, for fuck. Okay, so I don't even think you could find it on the internet. It's that fucking niche. We when we first got to our undergrad institution, which we're not giving you because we're going to make it even harder to find, we had a show called College Crew. You remember? Yeah, you remember College Crew.
I'm aware.
Fuck yeah. 1K away from racism. Yep. And so fucking our buddy Robbie, he was, we kind of went around and we're like, well, if you were going to play be a fictitious person, who would you be? And so Jay and I were kind of like we are now, just poorer, like a lot poorer.
I was about the same, actually. I haven't gotten that much richer over the years.
Fuck.
I had more hair.
Yeah, you did. You had a lot more hair. And then let's see, fucking Zach had a fucking blow up ostrich that he just wore everywhere.
That was kind of incredible.
Yeah, the best parts were when we weren't recording and people were just looking at him like, what the fuck is your problem? And then there was Robbie Sluga, and we never actually got this on camera, but he wanted to be the guy that hung outside of Walmart in the bushes, and he went out of his way to say in the bushes too. So you take that how it is. And he was going to be the guy that anytime somebody walked out of the in sign for Walmart, he was just going to be like, holy shit, and just
what are you doing, bro?
And just run out and fucking wrong way, asshole.
Can't you fucking read?
Yeah, and this guy fucking looks like, like Jerry fucking Seinfeld.
Yeah, he's not a big man by any stretch of imagination.
No, so you got like miniatures, well, probably regular size Seinfeld, I guess, yelling at you like, you're going the wrong way. Holy fuck. How could you keep your composure there? So,
but yeah, no, to that point, who would be the undercover boss?
Bouncer.
I think the undercover boss bouncer, I'd actually go a different route here. I'd go Chris Angel. Because think about it. Somebody's trying to walk in, they have beer in their hand, and he's like, whoa, sir, you can't come into this beer with his eyeshadow. And they're like, the fuck I can. And he's like, can you? And then the beer's just gone. And he's like, whoa, where'd my beer go, bro? It's like, it's not on the ground, asshole, but it's not spilled. I didn't slap it. I magicked it there.
And he just looks at him like,
dude, imagine Chris Angel trying to break a fucking fight up. He just runs in fucking shirtless. Whoa, guys, hey, cut it out. This is a place of magic and fucking magistry. This is not a place for you to throw fisticuffs.
That's a really fucking good undercover bouncer. I think my undercover bouncer would be Ash Ketchum.
He's just throwing fucking Pokeballs at people.
Right at their balls.
I like it.
Because the young ladies and older ladies and all the ladies are going to respect the establishment they're in. But the dudes are going to be like, no, man, I'm going across the street with this bootlet. Then he'll just be like, Pikachu, go fucking dick him. And that's it.
Dick him.
Undercover bouncer.
I like it.
Oh, I like it too. But not as much as this next segment.
Woo!
Which was written obviously by one of us. You can guess who. This week, the Las Vegas Tourism Authority, which is a real thing, announced that they will be paying $100,000 per player to sponsor, in quotes, members of the WNBA's Aces. The WNBA claims that
time reigning champs.
Oh yeah, worldwide leader. The WNBA claims that it is not in violation of the league's salary cap restrictions, as the money is a sponsorship deal and therefore is not related to the team's salary cap. Other stakeholders within the league claim that the average WNBA salary is only $148,000. That this deal gives an unfair advantage to the Aces in the free agent market. So, what do you make of this arrangement? Should the sponsorship agreement be considered a salary cap infringement? Go for it.
So, for context, an average Major League Baseball salary in 2024 is $4.5 million. So, for context, that would be like somebody saying, hey, I'm going to give every member of the Yankees $4 million as a sponsorship, right? I understand that in this scenario, the Las Vegas Tourism Board is not owned by anybody affiliated with the league. But my issue that I have is if you declare this isn't in violation of the salary cap, every single league owner in the NBA, because WNBA teams are owned by NBA owners, every single one, if they cared enough about this league, which they don't, but if they did, they all have shell corps. So then what's to stop Shell Corporation A from saying, oh, you guys are giving $100K? Yeah, no, we're going to go ahead and give $150,000 to the best, I don't know, 7 players in the league and, just steal everybody from the Aces, come over to us and they hit free agency because that's $50K more a year. I think there's a certain level of, you have to take interpretation, right? You have to interpret it as, hey, by the letter of the law, no, it's not in violation of the salary cap, but don't be a fucking idiot. Like, yes, it's in violation of the salary cap. If right now you went to an NFL team and said, hey, every free agent you want to bring in, we're going to give them 80% of what the league average salary is on top of whatever you decide to pay them, you're going to win the next 12 Super Bowls. You just are. And on top of that, this team's already winning. So that's like saying, hey, Mahomes, you're already making $500 million right now. We're going to go ahead and give you another $100 million just because you're in Kansas City. I just don't see there being any way that this isn't a situation of being salary cap infringement. I think the league needs to step in. I know it's unprecedented, but I think the league needs to step in and say, no, you can't do that. It has to go through the team. It has to count against your salary cap.
I love it that we're on opposite sides of the spectrum.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay. So, first of all, I'm excited that at least a city, and Las Vegas too, let's be upfront, okay? Las Vegas has been NBA's hotspot outside of New York.
Yeah,
since 2010.
Yeah. They want it there badly.
Yeah, they want it there badly. Every single year they host the summer league there. I mean, Las Vegas has been trying to get in NBA's great graces, forever.
Yeah.
Okay. And has been recently successful with doing so. So don't take my comments as being, oh yeah, let's go Las Vegas. That's great. Good on you. You're doing a charitable effort, because no, they're not. They're schmoozing in their own way, like they always have to the not the WNBA until now, the NBA. Now, with that being said, at least a city is trying to put forward some goodwill towards the WNBA itself. First point, it's weak. I understand that. But B, every other player who has received sponsorship money outside of their own team, which is effectively every professional athlete in every major sport across the United States, are you suggesting that that money should count against the salary cap for their own respective teams?
No, because you're an individual brand versus a team brand. They could sign, I don't know, Becky off the block tomorrow, who's never played basketball in her life. She gets $100K just because she signs with the team.
Okay, so there's official
There's a difference
sponsors
between that
of
and brand
teams,
building your own brand.
but there's official sponsors for teams who get individual athletes to speak for them. And I'm thinking of like McCourty up here in New England, and a couple of others for car dealerships and stuff, who are the official car partner of the New England Patriots, who effectively give money to all the New England Patriots to appear in ads. So should that money count against them? Because that's effectively what this is.
But it's apples and oranges. Because they're not saying that every single player that comes to the Patriots, just because they're on the team, is getting $5 million. They're not saying, hey, punter, Zoltan Mezco, you're not getting $5 million.
No, he's getting $500 million.
Well, if that's the case, then, I mean, that's definitely against the salary cap. But I'm just saying, like, it's $100,000 in a league that's average salary is $150,000. Now we've essentially doubled the average salary for that team versus the rest of the league. That's like saying, hey, if you're going to be, I don't know, like the NHL average salary, I'm sure is probably somewhere between 2 and 3 million. That's like saying, hey, if you want to come play and be a Winnipeg Jet, now you're going to make 5 to 6 instead of 2 to 3 anywhere else in the league. Go play for Winnipeg. It's different than being like, oh yeah, you're already making 3 million. Here's an extra $50,000. That's not worth somebody's time. That's a fine for most players in most leagues.
So I'll also throw out here, there was a graphic that circulated over the past week about average like home income to live well per state. The lowest
Mississippi, lowest state.
Yep, with how much?
187K.
There you go, 187K. This is a league that, you're right, we are playing apples to oranges, and the apples are cents on the fucking dollar here.
Yeah.
For a league that could potentially explode. The early viewership ratings outside of games where Caitlin Clark is showing up, unfortunately, they're growing, but not this exponential curve so far.
Yeah. Well,
but still,
Caitlin Clark's also going to be out of Indy by the end of the year. She hates her teammates and her coaches. So she might be in the big three by the time they roll around, just off the hatred she has for the rest of her team.
Ice Cube will always be there with $5 million. Yeah. And if some sponsor could match it for $5 million, it should not go against whatever team she goes to's cap.
Oh, the big six, the ballers, the ghost ballers.
Let's go, the ghost ballers. But
Killer bees.
I just, again, I see this as focusing in on women's sports in a way that men's sports are not looked at. Come on. This is happening across even minor league sports. I'm thinking baseball in particular, for high appeal teams, and in particular high appeal teams with good future stars for their affiliates coming into a town, right? Like, a team's going to negotiate, hey, you sponsor them, you got to sponsor everybody. Because in the minors, they don't make that much. And I'm thinking of baseball here.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I see this as, once again, let's pick apart women's sports for no fucking reason.
But I don't think it's necessarily picking them apart. I think it's just talking about competitive.
So should the male equivalents have this same thing put against them?
If somebody's willing to match 90% of the average salary for a men's sport, then we'd have this exact same conversation.
The problem is we never hear about those numbers.
Because nobody's going out there and saying, just for playing for this team, every single guy on the 53-man roster for the Patriots is getting $4 million this season.
What about the Celtics?
What about the Celtics?
The Suns, whoever.
Yeah. Average NBA contracts very different than the average WNBA contract. So the average NBA contract, for comparison, let's see, average NBA contract.
I want to guess 2.7 million.
Higher.
Woof.
4.6.
Woof.
So because 4.6 is the average, we're talking it being 66%, because that's essentially what 100 is for 150, right? So 4.6 4600000. So 3,036,000. So $3 million essentially for every team. There's nobody going out there and saying, hey, all 15 guys on the Detroit Pistons roster, we're going to give you $3 million each just for being a Detroit Piston.
That we've heard about.
Well, I'm just simply saying, you look at league salary cap and the way it's structured in the NBA, there's so much money in the NBA to begin with that you don't really need it. You're going to get the best guys just because you're going to get the best guys. Like $3 million isn't going to make a difference when the league max right now for a max contract, I think, is like 151 million. For context, right? We're going to play a game here. I'm going to read off the top WNBA average annual value contracts right now. And I want you to tell me if you ever heard of these people. Number one in the league, $252,450. Jackie Young. Never heard of her in my life. 245,508. Jewel Lloyd. Never heard of her either. I know the singer Jewel. Probably not the same. 245,000. Kalia Copper, not Cooper. 241. Enrique Angubawale. 234. Diana Taurasi. I do know that name.
Yes.
Number 6. Natasha Howard. Erica Wheeler. Brianna Jones. Skylar Diggins-Smith, I know of. Alyssa Thomas, Marina Mabry, Kayla McBride, Kelsey Mitchell, Sabrina Ionescu, Brianna Stewart, I know of.
Yeah.
Nanike Agwumike. What I'm saying is there's only so many people in the league making over $200,000, and you've never heard of 14 out of the 16 of them, right?
That's fire agents, ladies.
No shit. But that's different than if we're saying the top contract is $250,000 and every single player on this team gets $100K. That's like saying if in the NBA the top contract's $150 million over 3 years, so essentially $50 million a season, you're going to get $20 million just for being like a bench player on this team. You're going to put a fucking all-star team together. You just are.
Yeah. So let's see here. How to approach this. With someone like LeBron James, right? He's, going to be the first active athlete billionaire ever. Okay. Michael Jordan had to retire and do some other things.
Conor McGregor's close.
Well, yeah.
Conor McGregor's giving him a fight for it, but that's because he had a lot of opposite ventures outside of athletics.
I should have said, within the NBA. I'm sorry. That was bad on me because Floyd Mayweather is, he's fucking loaded too. Anyways, the career earnings for LeBron James, I want you to give me a ballpark guesstimate from basketball only. What are his career earnings from basketball only?
350, 400 million, somewhere in there.
Yeah, somewhere in there. 479 million and change. Okay. And he's about to be a billionaire athlete.
Yep.
Where is he getting the rest of that from? And
Sponsorship,
that more than
Nike.
Yeah. And should that have counted against his teams?
But that's one person. That's not an entire roster. He's going to get that for whatever team he plays for. That doesn't change the competitive balance. That's not the
like there's been competitive balance in the NBA.
But that's not the Timberwolves coming out and saying, hey, if you come to Minnesota, you'll be a billionaire. If you go anywhere else, you'll be a hundredaire. Like it's not the same.
It's actually Oppo with the Timberwolves.
Yeah. Fair.
You'll be a hundredaire.
Who are weirdly in the conference finals despite having a lot of hundredaires. But yeah.
Right. Good for them. Good for the Timberwolves. All I'm saying is, look, there's been sponsorships and shady shit in sports forever, which is kind of my whole fucking spiel. Why are we focusing on this?
Because there's never in sports been a competitive imbalance at the professional level. Now you're seeing it in college, right?
We've seen it forever in college. Fucking ever. Look at Alabama. They paid people thousands of dollars when hundreds could make a fucking living. It makes no fucking sense.
But now you're seeing the line blurred between the two of Alabama, Georgia being these powerhouses for as long as they have is not by accident. The Aces have already won the last 2 WNBA titles. They're going to do it again this year, I'm sure. I would assume. I don't know. You're making the rich richer. And I guess I struggle to say that you've already got this super team, and now we're just going to make this super team an even more desirable location when you're already getting the best free agents.
Yeah, I don't know. I hear you, but I don't buy it. I don't buy it. But that's okay. We can disagree sometimes.
We can.
Oh, it took us 20 episodes, I guess, but that's okay.
That happens every now and then.
I know one thing that we do agree on.
NASCAR is awesome.
It is, but sometimes what's even awesomer is a good old-fashioned poetry slam.
Nardo!
Unofficially sponsored by Nardo fucking Wick, baby. Let's fucking go.
He's never officially sponsored anything in his life. Fucking right.
Nope, not even
I've even got
name.
2 this week. Let's fucking go.
Oh, fuck. Okay, we got to sandwich this shit. So I want you to put yours, and then I'll do mine, and then you could come back with your best one.
Both of them feature 2 Chainz. The first one that I've got is
who?
It's a song called "Come Over" by a young man named Hunxho, Hunxho. Hunxho. He may be Chinese. I'm not entirely sure. I think he's African American. He might be Chinese based off the spelling of his name.
That's cool.
But it's called "Come Over," and it says. Heavy on the sauce, Chef Boyardee had the Frenchie with me with the Goyard leash. If she ain't mine, I ain't cuffing shit. Hit her from behind like, fuck this shit. I'm so blessed, God must exist. Told her ketchup, and she musta did. I don't trust me. How can I trust you? Told her come over, and she busted you. Come over, she can't even be mad. I done got her every bag. I'm talking about every purse. Marathon Don, how I walk on every verse. Leave and come back. What she did won't hurt you. Come over. And then he goes, I'll get someone to crack your lobster tail for you. I'll get someone to fix your ponytail for you. I'll get someone to take her to Chanel for you. You might get a wire or a Zelle from me, which doesn't rhyme, but yeah.
Very few of our Nardo Wick poetry slams actually rhyme if you listen.
Most of them end in not rhyming. They all start that way and just get off track. It's like these rappers are like, hey, for 2 verses I can make rhymes, and I just ran out of words that rhyme. There's no more in the English language.
Yeah, so I got one that doesn't rhyme at all.
Love it.
Yeah. So we're heading to Flint, Michigan for this one, apparently. So it's a song by a young artist called Sexy with 2 Y's, Red.
I've mentioned her multiple times before. Love that.
Oh yeah. And it's called Get It Sexy with 2 Y's. All right. Because I guess this is my thing for the fucking Nardo Wick is I'm just gonna say all female rap artists. I mean, poetry slammers. I'm sorry. Poetry slammers.
Slammers, yes.
Yeah. So anyways, Get It Sexy. It goes like this. Bow, 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 bow. Growl. Bow, bow, bow. Yeah. Yeah. It's sexy.
So sexy.
Slim, thick, caramel skin, 5'5". This bitch 8'10". Yeah. Hair done, bills paid, catching me sliding in the Benz. You. Ain't looking for no man. Me neither, girl. Ain't recruiting.
You can be your own independent African American woman, Red, sexy Red. You don't need no man.
Nope, not once, not never. Ain't recruiting no
Make
new
your own money.
friends. Louis bag filled with bands. I don't know what bands is, but okay. The Utes.
Bands $100 bills, y'all.
Ooh, money. Go on, sexy, do your dance. Get it sexy, get it sexy. Get it sexy, get it sexy. Boy, maybe okay. This verse, I'm gonna do my best to say it. All is foghorn leghorn, and I should also note that the way that I find these things,
the original sexy Red foghorn leghorn.
Yeah. The way that I find these things is I just put in top rap songs this week and just choose one randomly that sounds dumb.
Either I do that
great.
or I'm like flipping through like Sirius XM and I hit Hip Hop Nation. I'm like, oh, this song sounds really fucking stupid. Let's use it.
Let's use it. So okay, so this is a sexy Red, get it sexy. I'll the foghorn leghorn now. All right, boy, you know this ass super fat. I ain't lying though. Fuck me good. I'm throwing that shit back.
Not untrue.
I'm his favorite hoe. He wanna kiss me all over my tats. I'm gonna let him know.
Let him know.
I'm so fucking sexy. There you take. I'm not saying that word. Feeling myself because I know I'm that. Yeah.
I feel like foghorn leghorn would say that word, but he'd say it with a hard R instead of an A. He's very Southern. He's not progressive. He's from an older time.
So foghorn leghorn is not the fucking voice to go to for the Naruto poetry.
Probably not.
Probably not. But yeah, bitch, I'm gonna go. And that is how we're gonna end my rendition of the Naruto poetry slam.
So for my second option here, I'm gonna go to a song called Virgil Discount by the artist known as 2 Chainz and some gentleman named Schooly, Skooly. And I'm just gonna jump around a little bit because some of these verses are better than others. And keep in mind it's 2 Chainz for most of these verses. So 2 Chainz, Jacksonville's finest, starts by saying, I go to sleep in designer, psych. I go to sleep in vagina, yikes. Telling your honor a lie, right? Soon as I left, I got right. This is a precision in detail. Sea life is a beach, seashell. I sold the bags for retail. I'm from the block, no email. And then he goes, I'm cold, y'all. Starting to think no one told y'all. Designer my clothes, dog. How much you think my coat cost? I'm spitting like Mozart. This pistol that I got will flip Noah's Ark. New Lamborghinis, the doors off. Fell asleep in the Guinea to doze off. Get it. My diamonds are stones water. I teach these N-words like Coach Carter. Ain't talking about no damn soda. White girl with me wants some Coke products.
Oh, what a lyrical genius.
Songwriters Tawheed Epps, Tim Gomringer, Kevin Gomringer, Kazarian H. Fowler, June James, and Anthony Jerome Jr. Costley. I don't know why the junior comes before the Costley.
How come, like, what, 5 dudes had to work on that?
Because a lot of white girls need Coke products. And because it rhymed. It takes 5 guys to make this rhyme. That's the first one we've ended on it rhyming.
Wow, that's true. We're sorry. We are very sorry, Nardo. Because God, that is the first one.
So I'm too pale and old to know what a Virgil discount is, but 2 Chainz and Schooly know all about that Virgil discount.
That they do. Just like we know about being too white and too poor for this next fucking segment. Let's go.
Turn left.
Oh, yeah. We got a lot of the left turns or haymakers. Depends on the day, especially if it's the fucking all-star race down in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, you're not a NASCAR fan.
I don't even know where that is, and I fucking live almost in North Carolina. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. This week, NASCAR doled out a historic $75,000 fine, or, like 3/4 of a Las Vegas bonus in the WNBA to Ricky Stenhouse Jr., aka Recky Wreckhouse the second, for throwing
the out of the trailer park, but you can't take the trailer park out of the Recky.
No, you cannot. For throwing the fisticuffs.
It was actually a right hook. When I wrote it, I needed left turns, and it was a right hook.
It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. But regardless, he wanted to throw a left too. He was throwing the fisticuffs, as you will, with Mexico's most wanted, Senor Kyle Busch.
I think it's you're very white when you say that. I'm pretty sure he is Mexican. I think it's Kyle Busch.
Sí, señor. Lo siento. Senor.
Sí.
Kyle Busch. This incident, which occurred at NASCAR's All-Star Race again in beautiful North Wilkesboro. Glad they're racing again there.
Is that different than Concord? Did they not do the All-Star Race at the fucking Concord track?
Long time. Shut up. Long time ago. Was meant with no discipline to Kyle Busch, even though it is
Busch.
Yes. Even though it is worth noting that Senor Busch wrecked the fuck out of Wreckhouse early in the race. And poor Ricky, because the track is so old, there's no like tunnel underneath the track to get the hauler out. So he just kind of had to stay there, which again, you probably could have left, but anyways. In addition to the fine to Stenhouse Jr., other punishments included his father, Recky Wreckhouse Sr., if you weren't keeping up.
Proper name.
Yes. Yeah. He was suspended indefinitely. His mechanic, Clint Myrick.
Mike Truck.
Yeah. That's his real nickname is Truck.
How long was Mike Truck suspended for? That's the only thing I really want to know out of this story.
Yeah, so Mike Truck Myrick got an 8-race suspension.
You would have gave suspend Mike Truck. Mike Truck ain't gave suspends you, motherfucker.
You can't even get through a segment.
Can't even get to it.
And his engine tuner, Keith.
The engine tuner. Hey, bro, my name's Topher. I tune some engines. They call me the engine tuner.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. Keith fucking Matthews, or as you might know him, Dave fucking Matthews, was given a 4-race suspension as well.
Can I quickly interject again here?
And thank God for you asking permission for once.
Because yesterday I was told about the whitest man ever, and I sent a text, and I feel like it's very, very relevant to what you just said. Keith Matthews Jr. I've never seen whatever his name is, Keith Matthews, but he looks like a tool. It's a man who orders a BLT with extra mayo and then asks them to change the radio station because the Teddy Swim song is, quote, too thug for this Applebee's. That's what Keith Matthews is to me. Fuck him.
I'm going to say something, and I know I'm at risk at us getting our free show canceled. Peyton Manning gave him a thumbs up for that. Fuck, I'm sorry. It comes off of the fucking Tom Brady roast where Peyton Manning's like, yeah, I go to Applebee's. Fuck. We can't even
Like
get through it.
Applebee's on a date night.
Jesus.
I bet Recky takes his dad to Applebee's on a date night.
No, well, he's probably suspended from there too. Who knows?
I just see Talladega Nights of getting thrown out of the fucking Applebee's now. This is egregious. I'm Ricky Stenhouse Sr. Egregious.
Applebee's has rats.
North Wilkesboro, North Carolina's got rats under the track. That's why they can't put the sweeper down there.
That's why my poor boy couldn't get his big $300,000 hauler out of there. That's why he's suspended. Anyways, wow. Okay, maybe we could finish this. No, we can't. Stenhouse
a lot right now. I fall
Stenhouse.
asleep in vagina. Yikes.
Yep. Stenhouse vowed, unofficially confirmed.
Did I actually write it that way?
You wrote it as vowed.
Sober me now knows what's going to set drunk me off. I have split personality disorder among a drunk and a sober guy. Fuck yeah.
Not
because all I can think now is like, I vow, Kile Bush, I will find you and destroy all of your tomato crops as well as your jalapeno peppers. Stenhouse vows.
Son of a bitch. There's so much to unpack there because you said disodor. Like, what? Does he have different odors coming off of him? And then he went on that round. Holy fuck. Anyways, Stenhouse vowed on his father's grave, of course, during the fight.
Father's suspended grave.
I got 6 words in there. To wreck Bush at this Sunday's Coca-Cola 600 in Charlotte.
I forgot about the next line. It's the best part of this whole intro.
Yeah, in which, yeah, we haven't gotten there yet. In which Bush responded to by saying, and Jeremy didn't make this up when he wrote it. Bring it. I suck as bad as you. Which is so funny. Oh God. And you know, why not add a little plutonium to this fucking volcano? Senor Bush's owner, Ricardo Childress.
Oh, the Childress.
Yes. Vowed to fight Stenhouse himself if he gets near Bush's car. Let's also note that Richard Childress was the owner of Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s car. He has been in the sport and on this rock for a very fucking long time. So, you know, you got fucking Herbert the pervert going out there like, oh boy, you might have some creamy hamstrings, but these fists, no limits.
They keep on punching. I keep on punching too, but they just keep on staying the same age.
I almost feel like we should just end the segment there. But what the fuck? We're all having a fun time.
Fuck it, let's keep it going.
So, this is, and you can take this any direction you want. And dear listener, I hope you respond like by yelling at your wall about this. And I invite you to answer this question accordingly. What in the actual fuck? To any of the things you just heard between the end of Nardo Wick and now, what in the actual fuck?
Somehow that made Nardo Wick seem normal.
Right? We're just like, here is this new age gangster rap, and oh yeah, well, oh yes, oh yes. Welcome to the fucking Kentucky Derby. Yes, that was wonderful poetry. You talking about bringing people back to your Prius
Who
and
I
the home
love how white
office.
women need the Coke products.
There he is. And then we can't even get through reading a goddamn segment. So you and Jay, I open it up to you too. In any sort of way you can think of for this whole situation between Nardowick and now, what in the actual fuck?
You're a huge NASCAR guy, man. I'll go ahead and defer to you. Why don't you start us off here?
Okay, so I'm going to be honest. This year in racing has sucked major donkey dick. Full stop. And I'm referring to NASCAR. Okay. Last week I thought, nah, fuck it. I'll tune into the All Star race. I like when they race in North Wilkesboro. Reminds me
Concord.
of the olden days. They don't understand this track at all. It's a fun time. And then at the end of the race, fucking arguably the worst driver over the past 10 years who got dumped by Danica because she wanted to go date the guy who ate mushrooms and saw things.
And has fucking dark room sessions for like 5 days. Yeah.
That guy was like, you know what? This is the fucking moment. And he goes up
He's been waiting on his moment for a long time now.
Long fucking time. And he goes up to the guy that's, the former fucking champion in the sport. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And it's like, you know what, motherfucker? Fuck you for wrecking him. I think NASCAR needed more of this, but NASCAR, in its infinite dum-dum, and I mean D-U-M-B, D-U-M, came out and said, no, fuck you. We're going to fine you for an all-star race that had nothing to do with points, in which I actually isolate you in a place where you could stew for the entire rest of the race after Shrub, the former nickname for Kylie,
Oh, yeah.
wrecked you out so early. Like, what did you think was going to happen? Right? And where were NASCAR officials for this is what I'm wondering. Like, in an instance like that where it was obvious to everybody but the racing control folks that, okay, Kyle done fucked up. Where the fuck were they? Why were they not around Ricky's fucking hauler? Why were they not around the whole JGR team? Where the fuck were they? This was truly egregious on NASCAR's part of damage control, right? Because look, there's been, I would say in the past 3 years, there's been more instances of drivers going up after a race and swinging on other drivers than there has been the previous 10 years. Okay.
But it's always cheap shots though. Like it's
Yeah.
not like a cool like drop the gloves kind of like fight. It's like, oh, I'm gonna like donkey punch you.
Yeah. It's not like the historic fights for sure. So part of me wonders, like, okay, I think NASCAR wanted this, but I don't think they wanted it to happen to Kyle just because he is a previous champion and has won so many races. And as NASCAR so incorrectly pointed out, oh, well, he beat Richard, or, the fucking king in number of races won. It's because the Shrub won most of those in the truck series. Right. Whereas if Richard Petty had a truck series, he would have put a fucking Hemi in a truck like he did in the in the Winston Cup at the time and fucking won 300 more fucking races. Like, it's just insane the way that this sport is protecting all of its most vilified people for no goddamn reason, while below the table, let's promote fighting. But then, oh my gosh, you swung on the wrong person. Like, okay, let's put it a different way.
Was it on the wrong person or was it the wrong time? Was it because it was Bush or was it because of the All-Star race? If he'd swung
Bush.
at Bush in a normal race, would he gotten fined 75K if it was after like Darlington?
At Darlington, yes, he might have gotten fined more, I would argue. That's one of the crown jewel events in NASCAR. But okay, so for this example, let's go with someone else. Let's say Reki gets fucking wrecked out by fucking Corey LaJoy. Okay. The dude who you can almost quantitatively prove this, cannot drive, period. Who put his face on the front of a fucking car as a fucking stick on, right? And it did not make sense. It was all distorted. It was fucked up. All right. If Wreckhouse comes out and starts swinging on Corey LaJoy, he ain't getting no $75,000 fine. Fuck, he's probably getting a $5,000 fine. You know, one of his tire changers is suspended for a race, and you know, they fucking wake up one of the old Francis from the goddamn dead to give him a pat on the fucking back.
Which was his crew even involved in this fight?
His dad was, and
His dad,
crew,
sure, but like his engine tuner was fucking Chadwick, the engine tuner, even fucking involved in this shit.
Off camera, yeah, apparently there was some scuffles, but this whole thing just reeks bad, man. Like NASCAR. Okay, so maybe I'm revealing a little too much here, but fuck it. NASCAR is adopting the NFL's model for sales and for sponsorships and for event management in a lot of different ways. And a lot of what the NFL is trying to do is clean up their image. And NASCAR is following suit in a lot of different ways. That is not NASCAR at all, period. The NFL, in a weird, perverted way, with their connection to amateurism and Teddy Roosevelt and such, okay, there might be a case there. But for NASCAR, the sport was built on fucking cheating.
Yep.
The whole fucking sport. So when someone is throwing hands because someone else fucked up, to me, it's like, this is good. We're getting back to it.
I'm all for more violence in sports.
All right, what you got for this?
Yeah, I think for me, you need to in non-big four sports, right? So not basketball, baseball, hockey, and I'd actually argue hockey doesn't necessarily fall in this, but not basketball, baseball, football, even hockey to some extent. They've taken fighting out of the game in hockey, and I feel like it's gotten less exciting because you've taken a massive part of what that game is out of it. I understand societally that we've gotten to a point now where wholesome is somehow better, where we're at a point where, like, you know, like Dave Chappelle used to on Chappelle's show drop the N-word on TV, and now you can't even throw that out there on TV anymore as an example, right? Because we've gotten so oversensitive, right? And it is what it is. But we've gotten to a point now where, like, you know, Tom Segura says it. If kids like, oh, I went over there and then there was a big mean man and then I fell and then I don't, and now I'm scared of going over there, then just don't go the fuck over there. We've gotten to a point where now people can't just not go the fuck over there. They're like, nope, I need to have a right to go over there. I might never do it, but I should be allowed. I think in sports in general now, it's like celebrating the NFL. You remember back in the day when fucking like they'd have like legitimate, like T.O. would like pull a Sharpie out of his sock or whatever the case might be, right? The stuff that would get you fined.
Or Randy Moss pulling out a cell phone from the back of a goalpost.
Exactly. Right. People still talk about that now 20 years later, like we are right now, because it was so memorable. It was such an incredible moment in the league. You don't get that in sports now. What's happened in the NFL in the last 10 years outside of great plays to where you're like, man, I really remember that. Think about the press conferences in the early 2000s, like Jim Mora about playoffs. Like people still remember that now. Do you remember a press conference from the last 10 years?
No.
I remember Belichick showing up with cut off sweatpants and sweatshirt, but I don't remember what he said. Like I think we've gotten to a point now where professional sports have tried to become so professional, to your point, that we've lost the entertainment value to it, right? And the end of the day, what professional sports are is they're entertainment. So I agree with you wholeheartedly, man. If two full-grown consenting adults want to throw fists after a NASCAR race, nobody should get fined for that. They just shouldn't. Ricky's dad getting involved, should he be suspended? Sure. He's not one of the two drivers. I can see outside participation somehow factoring into that. That part of it I get. But Ricky shouldn't be fined $75K. I do think it's really interesting that a 90-year-old man is like, you come near my car, I'll fuck you up, motherfucker. That I hope actually happens.
Kids, get off my lawn.
You kids get away from my perfectly groomed bushes. But no, I really do hope that happens. But I don't know. My thought, and where I really want to take it, though, and where I'm going with this, because I am building up to something, I think we need to combine professional wrestling with NASCAR. I think that if you feel you've been slighted by somebody on the track, you're allowed to challenge them. The race stops. There's a ring right in the middle. And if you challenge them and you pin them, you switch spots in the race. So if you're like 30th and they're like 5th, you go from 30 to 5th. I think at the same time, if you're like 4th and they're 3rd and you fight, then obviously moving up one spot's not that big of a deal. So in that case, I don't know, you get to like pick where they go. Maybe you send them to like 20th, 25th. I don't know. Make it like a 3-way tornado tag match. Basically put them down in a spot to where they're way worse off because you don't get pinned in professional wrestling. But where I'm going with all this, other than the fact that I really do hope that a 90-year-old man throws fists with Reki and that the federales in this scenario just kind of swoop in and, go ahead and do work on Kile Bush. I think that professional wrestlers and NASCAR drivers need to be much more closely related. I think that every NASCAR driver right now, so I was just simply saying that I think that NASCAR drivers need to be more closely related with professional wrestlers, and professional wrestlers need to be more closely related with NASCAR drivers. So I've got a list of all the NASCAR drivers in front of me, and I'm just thinking that every NASCAR driver, not all of them, but some of them, need like a professional wrestling persona or like a name. So, for example,
wait. I have one modification.
Okay.
They actually have the professional wrestler on their team, but they're like the gas man.
Oh, I was going differently. You can go that way too. I was going to say, like, for example, like if Ty Gibbs becomes a professional wrestler, it's like now coming down to the ring, Ty nepotism bitch boy Gibbs. Then he gets in the ring and his finishing move is like my dad could beat up your dad.
Where he just like throws a check at him and then they pin themselves.
He's just sitting on the ground. He just writes it and just says 1, 2, 3. He just drops it on him.
It's actually $1.23 million.
Doesn't matter. We got to 3. I was gonna go like Billy fake Liberty Education Byron, and his finishing move is like the GED.
My grandfather got a job off of this paper. And then they just get so confused they like pass out.
I'm thinking it's like Brad the Polish pistol Keselowski, and his finishing move is like how many S's are in or how many E's are in this name. Oh, he hit him with the how many E's. What?
It's funny because you cannot count that high as a driver either. So
obviously we're going Christopher, for whom the bell tolls, is going to be the professional wrestler here. And his finishing move, let's see, is Trapped Under Ice, another great Metallica song where he just lays down on you and you can't move. He just like frogs you. I feel like let's see. I feel like Bubba Wallace, his professional wrestling name would just be Bubba. Or wouldn't even you just take a name out. It's just, oh, Bubba's coming to the ring.
He just shows up in a fat suit, but it's a white guy fat suit just to piss everybody off.
His finishing move's just the reversal.
Yeah. I like how that's going. Although I would so love for like, you know, fucking like, okay, in this situation, Shrub and Reki, they're about to get into it, and then you just hear, oh no, a new entrant into the arena. And then fucking Stone Cold comes out for fucking Kyle Busch. This would never happen. But Stone Cold comes out and just fucking chugs a bunch of beer out of a fucking gas can. It's just like, yeah. And then
Stone Cold wouldn't leave the stands. He'd just be out there with every other NASCAR fan.
He is every other NASCAR fan. This is true. But then on the other side, it's like, oh man, we didn't see him coming. The gas man's here. It's John Cena. And then they just fucking throw down. Holy fuck, that would be a lot of fun.
So what we're saying is the simple solution is instead of having qualifying, what we need to do is have a 40 driver Royal Rumble, and that determines pole order.
It's a ladder match, baby. Cars don't matter.
Whatever the like trophy is for that event you get to use. So like the New Hampshire race or just a lobster in the middle of the ring, you can use it as a weapon if you get to that lobster before the other 39 drivers.
Somewhere around the arena, there's a pair of scissors to unclip his claws.
You can't leave the ring. It's a Royal Rumble, son of a bitch.
I know, right? It's what the dilemma, man. Yeah, that's why you have to make friends.
You're going to start having DMX style teams who aren't even on the same team for driving. You've got like a Ford, a Chevy, and a Toyota, but they're like the fucking they're like the fucking bad boys of the wrestling component. Oh, the Rumble boys are coming down to the ring. They'll wreck each other on the course. But next thing you know, they'll team up to get those lobster claws on clips.
But the reality is the sport is just a bunch of fucking out of shape white dudes.
That makes it that much better, though. Who wants to see a bunch of roided dudes throwing each other around? Let's see fucking Kamui Kobayashi trying to fucking suplex a guy and throwing his back out in the process. Now he's got to drive with a pinch disc.
Oh my gosh. That would be fun. Then Corey LaJoy would be relevant.
Exactly.
Corey LaJoy's trunks are just his face on his trunks, front and back.
What's his finishing move, the Corey LaJoy?
No, he just jumps out of the ring. That's his finishing move. You thought he had you, and then he remembered he's not a driver.
I think Ryan the Priest with a T on the end. I think his finishing move is clearly the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
That's so many people. Oh my gosh.
Well, it's a Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I think Ryan Blaney has the Ryan Paney. He just fucking goes around with bows and just fucking clocks them.
The Reki, obviously Reki Stenhouse is going to be his wrestling name. His finishing move is the $75,000 right hook. And it all comes full circle.
He gets a briefcase with $75,000 that looks very unremarkable, and he just like daps it. and then just fucking punches the guy.
Here's the briefcase. Here's his fist. Here's your head.
Blah. Got him.
Got him.
Oh, yeah. And then Ross Chastain's, of course, as he just smashes a watermelon on somebody's head. Yeah. All right. So we've been way too serious this show, as you can see. So it's about time we change it up with our Giuseppe Stromboli redo of the week. Oh, yeah. And this week, our unofficial sponsor, someone has got to monitor this goddamn bullshit. I am mad. I am furious. What in the cinnamon toast fuck is this? Our unofficial sponsor is the Anatoly Smorin and the Buki de Beppo of Destiny. Like, what the fuck? What in the fuck?
They gave us money and we didn't say no.
$10 is $10. In honor of the famous remake of the popular series of books out of the UK, we honor or dishonor in this instance the pool playing, bang noodle wielding, and absolutely from New Jersey wizard with our Giuseppe Stromboli redo of the week. Again, unofficially sponsored by Anatoly Smoring and the Buca de Beppo of Destiny. All right, so look. Let's break it down for real. Okay, let's fucking, you and me, let's break it down for real.
Fucking do it.
We've all read the books. We've all been there. It sucks. We hate Anatoly the whole goddamn time. That son of a bitch.
My truck.
Gone too soon. In the 12th installment,
never there soon enough,
of the Anatoly Smoring series of books, which has also included Anatoly Smoring and the Breadstick of Destiny. And god damn it, that was a good one. I hated him. But in the 12th installment of this series,
you die a hero, you live long enough to become a villain. You know, that's where Anatoly's at this point.
He's always been the villain. We find out what actually happens when our anti-hero enters a Buca de Beppo, only to learn that they really are out of breadsticks. And you know, like, look, come on. We read the second book. All of us were there when he found the breadstick of destiny. You thought for one small fucking moment he could have been the goddamn hero. But no. But okay, I'm not going to ruin it for those of you who have not read the series. It's worth a read because you will never learn to hate the apparently protagonist as much as you will in this goddamn series.
I've never learned so fast on someone in my life.
Right. So anyways, yeah, the sponsors said, unofficial sponsors said we had to read this. How will Anatoly navigate this hell? Find out in Anatoly Smorin and the Buki de Beppo of Destiny. Fuck off. That's my part. Anyways.
There's not enough breadsticks when there's so many breadsticks.
Yeah. So this week we head to the state that harbors fugitive Alec Baldwin for shooting a person. For a story not related to that, of overcoming the odds to graduate from college. It's that season, right? This is a feel-good story. All right. The problem is, statistically, a cat should not graduate from college.
That would be one out of a lot.
Yeah, one out of infinite. Max the cat, which, by the way, why name your cat Max? Come on. Let's go.
That is a great question.
Max the cat was bestowed an honorary degree for a doctor of literature at Vermont State University, Castleton. I hate it that they are one of our direct rivals where I work now. This week is simply...
Make you like it more. This story's about how fucking stupid they are.
Yeah. it's just sad that it's like you're in the same league as that. Maybe they're not. You're Max. Um, the Dr. Cat. You've just become a first generation cat doctor. What are you using this degree for? And the second part, what other animals deserve a completely made up doctorate? And name the doctorate too. I'm adding that part in.
Yeah. I'd first like to say that while they gave him a doctorate of litter catcher, litter utcher, not catcher, they missed that too. I don't like that they missed that it could be a doctor cat of literature. They missed a lot of opportunities here, is all I'm saying. If we're gonna fucking do stupid shit, let's just go ahead and go all the way fucking stupid with it.
I mean, this whole thing is fucking stupid. So, yeah.
Agreed. All right. So I'm Max in the scenario. I'll start with the first point and the first question. If I'm Max, what am I using my Doctor of Literature for? One, to be the US's leading source of Giuseppe Stromboli fucking literature. You want to take a course on Giuseppe Stromboli and the fucking Honda Civic that makes too much noise when it backs up. You can come.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
You want to do the you want to go ahead and do Giuseppe Stromboli and the woman that yelled at me from the window down below. Guess what? I'm a fucking expert in that. That's what I'm doing if I'm Max and fucking literature. You want to do the fucking Giuseppe Stromboli and the gym tan lifestyle ain't it for me. I like to gym, I like to tan, but also sometimes my laundry does itself because I live with mom. There's a lot of options here as far as this literature series goes,
and there's a lot of places that you could put your bed in that basement, boy. Options are plenty.
Simply saying, if I'm Max and I've got this literature degree, then I'm going to go ahead and use it to be the world's leading expert in the Giuseppe Stromboli series.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Normally you have two. Do you have two this week?
Maybe. Why don't you go?
He's coming up with it. Okay. So, just became the first generation cat doctor. Okay. So I'm gonna change it up a little bit. I'm not a cat doctor. I'm an ant doctor. Dr. Hank Pym, baby. We're going full nerd out. That's right, Ant-Man, baby. I got a Dr. Ant in microbiology. There we fucking go. So that's what the degree is. And that also, I guess, answers what other animals should get one. But you could argue that there are other animals, right? So you should, there's some other terminal degrees out there. Master of Fine Arts, Master of Trunk Arts, elephants.
Yeah.
Kind of sounds like an F. It's PH. There's also EdDs, educational doctorates, eucalyptus doctorate, study trees. I don't know. Fuck, why not? And then what? You got DBAs, doctorates of business administration, D-baboons, doctorates in the ass arts. I don't know. What other ones should there be?
We got to go back to I was a lot drunker that day than I am right now, but you got to go back to our plaster negotiation days for this one. We talked about cereal mascots that don't exist. And I'm going to go back to that one for a minute here. I think that Niall the Narwhal should be doctorate of brunch studies. So
A
for those
DBS,
of
if you will.
those of you who have not listened to Plaster Negotiations, I got fucking piss drunk. We're talking about mascots that don't exist. I was like, yeah, no, Niles the Narwhal needs to be the official mascot of brunch. And he's just like, he's just plastered all the time and super hungover. And he just wakes up and he's like, "Hi, I'm Niall. It's time to go to brunch, white bitches. You love your avocado toast." And so I think he would be a great fit for a master's of brunch or a doctorate of brunch, really, brunch studies, because he's going to study all
DBS,
of
yes.
those. He's going to study all of the fucking Bloody Marys. He's going to study all of the avocado toast. Niles gets it.
Yeah, I would argue that there's another DBS concentration that you can go for other than our narwhal friend. It's a DBS in Chihuahua studies. Okay, and it's just this hardcore Napoleonic fucking Chihuahua that just screams, "You haven't had all the mimosas."
He's Niles' sidekick in this scenario.
Yes, absolutely. It's a narwhal and a Chihuahua, and you're like, "Oh, how cute!" And the narwhal comes up. He's like, "Hey, kids, you haven't had brunch yet," and he's all
no,
cute.
Kids are not Niles' target.
Well,
23 to 28 white women and men that hang out with them. That's
and he calls them kids in jest. That's why.
Hey, youths of America.
Oh, I haven't been called a youth in 5 years. Oh. And then, like they're just hanging around and not, they're just talking about Ben or whoever. And, this Chihuahua just jumps up and says,
Skylar.
Oh.
Skylar, not Ben.
Oh.
Skylar. Tanner.
I would say Ben too. Fuck Ben.
Benjamin.
No. I have a history with Ben. Fuck Ben. I guess I'm the Chihuahua here. And so
Chihuahua, let's go.
Oh, it's a hyphenated name. Yeah. Skylar Ben. It doesn't even make sense. No, not Ben Skylar. No, he will fucking call an assistant principal on you. All right. So the
assistant principal happens to be his dad. That's where the Skylar part comes in.
Yeah. And they're like talking like mid-grade shit. It's not that good. And then this Chihuahua jumps up on the table. Oh, look at the Chihuahua, it's so fucking cute. Karen. It sounds like fucking fucking Batman just smoking a fucking carton of Virginia Slims, like, "Yes, I got the lung cancer, you need another mimosa." Yeah.
Oh, Chip the Chihuahua.
Christopher Nolan is in the background just taking notes. Just like, yes. That's an inside joke. All right.
Christopher Nolan's in the background, like, wait, what's the next book? It's Giuseppe Stromboli and the wedding that isn't so good of a wedding.
The wedding that was ruined by Anatoly Smorin. That fuck. That's the
wedding. The wedding, and Ma, you got all the meatballs. Why you not sharing all the meatballs, Ma? I only got two.
Well, the Capicola. Where's the Capicola? Exactly. What the fuck happened this past hour and a half?
Great question.
It really is. And with that, we're just going to go ahead and conclude this week of Floral Foolishness.
Sports,
where it's always island time. We thank you for joining us. And I mean, come on, if you didn't see we didn't have fun this time, you weren't paying attention. We hope you had a good time too. As always, I'm Stoatsy, joined by the Wrangler, Jeremy Phelps. And as always, you stay tropical, Fox News lifeguards.